Dear Patriots, before the news starts, please subscribe to our patriotic channel by clicking the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up to this video. Don't forget to leave your opinion below in the comments section. Share the news on Facebook and Twitter so you friends see it. Thank you.
Judge Napolitano just went nuts. Look what he leaked about the evil plans to tap Trump. Judge Andrew Napolitano joined Stuart Varney on Tuesday to talk about the shocking report that came out recently that shows that Obama's FBI spied on the Trump campaign during the election. Napolitano is arguing that this included spying on President Trump. President Trump tweeted in March that Obama wiretapped Trump Tower. Judge Napolitano, when Jim Comey, still the director at the FBI, told the Senate Intelligence Committee under oath, "I know of no surveillance in Trump Tower." How could he not have known of this if his own FBI was doing it? If it was a FISA warrant, Valerie, Jarrett and Susan Rice could get their hands on it. I can assure you Donald Trump is caught up in that wiretap. I can assure you his words and his voice are all over it. Obama and Comey broke the law. They need to be put before a court and sentenced under the law. Where is Jeff Sessions? Where is our Department of Justice? Share this everywhere, y'all. The media is suppressing this news. Trump was right all along. He was wiretapped by the Obama administration for political reasons. We need to expose this scam now. Rex Tillerson just gave a stone-cold stare into the camera and buried Obama's legacy. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson got on Fox News Tuesday night and blasted Obama's 2015 Iran deal, calling it one of the worst and most one-sided transactions the United States has ever entered into. Then he started into the camera and said something we've all been waiting for: it really has to be revisited. Finally, we have people in charge who both understand that this deal is terrible and are ready to act on it. Tillerson said the most obvious problem with the Iran deal was a stipulation that most of the key restrictions currently being imposed on Iran would be lifted in 2030, called the Sunset Clause. Tillerson said the conditions would mirror those that allowed North Korea to acquire nuclear weapons. Unfortunately, this is what U.S. governments in the past did with North Korea. They just simply entered into agreements that were short-lived or were easily cheated on. He added that Trump is thinking along similar lines, which the president has said himself multiple times. And I think that's the president's assessment of the Iranian nuclear agreement, is that it's not a stiff enough agreement, it doesn't slow their program enough, and holding them accountable is difficult under the agreement. Obama negotiated the deal in 2015 with the US, Russia, China, France, Great Britain, and Germany. It's amazing how things are now full circle and we have an administration ready to work to make it right. Love Trump and his team? Share it out. HT Fox News. Moments before Trump's UN speech, the North Korean representative got up and did the unimaginable. The whole world is busy talking right now about President Trump's historic speech at the UN, where threatened to totally destroy North Korea. What nobody noticed, however, was the shocking thing the North Korean ambassador did moments before Trump started speaking. Right as the US president was walking up to take the microphone, Ambassador Ja Song-nam stood up from his front row seat and walked away. However, before he walked out, he gave a warning to the British UN ambassador. Nam said, "We're inching towards a nuclear war." The junior ambassador from North Korea was left alone with his headphones on for the remainder of the speech. Trump then went on to make it clear that he is arming and empowering the military and preparing for war with Kim Jong-un, since he refuses to stop building and testing nukes and ICBMs. President Trump even listed off their sick war crimes publicly. It is responsible for the starvation deaths of millions of North Koreans, and for the imprisonment, torture, killing and oppression of countless more. It wasn't only North Korea he went after, though. He went after a lot of the US's biggest threats, including Iran, Trump said they are still building nuclear devices. Cuba, they have been using sonic attacks on the American embassy to cause brain damage. Venezuela, their failed socialist government is in the middle of a bloody civil war after getting voted out of power. Syria, obviously this one is a mix of ISIS and Assad. If you are not opposed to seeing the end of the Kim family controlling North Korea, help us get this shared out and let everyone know how the country feels. In the end, it's all up to you, America. Unleashed right after California passed sanctuary state bill, Sessions went ballistic like never before. These leftist states and cities all seem hell-bent on protecting criminal illegal immigrants at all cost. Sanctuary laws have been passed throughout multiple jurisdictions to prevent local police from cooperating with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, when they've detained illegal immigrants who have broken the law. California legislature just passed a bill that would bring that policy to the entire state, instead of a handful of cities. Attorney General Jeff Sessions was not having it though and put them on blast in a speech in Portland Tuesday. The bill risks the safety of good law enforcement officers and the safety of the neighborhoods that need their protection the most. There are lives and livelihoods at stake. Then Sessions brought out the big guns. He told Californians exactly what was at stake, relating the death of 23-year-old Abel Esquivel, who was killed by 2 illegal immigrants in California last week. About 3 weeks before the murder, one of his alleged killers was arrested for an alleged battery, and, despite a request from ICE, he was released. One of the other defendants in the murder case also had an ICE detainer request for him when he had been arrested back in May for illegal possession of marijuana and brass knuckles. Esquivel was a young Hispanic man volunteering for his community when he was killed in an attempted robbery. His life matters. Respecting our country's immigration laws matters and protects all Americans regardless of race. This is a terrible story and it did not need to happen. Sessions was right for bringing it up and putting it in front of California Governor Jeff Brown's face, urging the governor not to sign this law that is in front of him. Sessions and the Trump administration have been working hard to deny federal funding to sanctuary cities, and many of their intended policies are being tied up in the courts. Stay tuned for any new developments. Support Sessions and honor the death of this brave young American by sharing this out 50,000 times. HT Fox News. Lock them up. 3 dirty Democratic congressmen arrested for doing something sick outside Trump Tower. If ever there was a case of Democrats showing their complete disrespect for law and order, this is it. 3 Democratic members of Congress have been arrested on disorderly conduct charges during a protest outside Trump Tower. Democratic Congressman Luis Gutierrez of Illinois being arrested outside of Trump Tower. On Tuesday, U.S. Reps. Raul Grijalva, of Arizona, Luis Gutierrez, of Illinois, and Adriano Espaillat, of New York, were illegally protesting in favor of the DREAM Act without a permit and were told to leave by police. Instead of respecting police orders, the Democrat congressman chose to act like children and sat down in the middle of a busy Fifth Avenue to block traffic. Not even ambulances were able to drive through their temper tantrum. All 3 Democrats were eventually handcuffed and arrested for their unlawful actions. These congressmen just disgrace themselves and the titles they hold. Not only are they willing to fight for illegal immigrants who break our laws, they are even willing to act like criminals themselves to fight against legal Americans. Share this if you think that these congressmen should be forced to resign immediately for their disgraceful behavior. Venezuelan official insults Trump, accidentally gets hit with Trump's secret weapon. Donald Trump spoke for the first time at the United Nations today and his speech was a stunner from beginning to end. During the 45-minute address, President Trump threatened North Korea, called out radical Islamic terror, and impressed Benjamin Netanyahu with his boldness. The Venezuelan delegation, however, was less impressed. For a moment we didn't know if we were listening to President Reagan in 1982 or President Trump in 2017, said Venezuelan Foreign Minister Jorge Arreza when asked about the president's remarks. Of course, Arreza meant the comparison as an insult related to Reagan's racist and supremacist theory. We Americans see it differently. Reagan remains the most popular president of the modern era because he embodies peace through strength. Now, Trump is emulating Reagan's approach, and the results are poised to be just as spectacular. If his foreign policy is being compared to Reagan's, particularly by socialist nations, then Trump is obviously doing something right. Share if you are proud of this insult to our president. Oh, Mike Pence got together with this bunny to make an adorable announcement. Vice President Mike Pence is a huge animal lover and has quite a few pets: 2 cats, Hazel and Pickle, 1 dog, Harley, and a rabbit, Marlon Brando, named after actor Marlon Brando, of course. He's often been spotted with his pets, and when one of his cats, Oreo, died this summer, the VP's wife Karen Pence released a sad statement. Now it gets better. Karen, Pence's daughter, Charlotte Pence, and the vice president himself have teamed up with little Marlon Brando to create a children's book, A Day in the Life of the Vice President. Cute, right? Brando, the official Botus bunny of the United States, will be pictured following VP Pence around on his official duties. Karen Pence, a talented and award-winning artist, provided the watercolored portrayals of their adventures. Daughter Charlotte wrote the story. And it gets even better. Some of the book's proceeds will go towards 821, an organization that battles human trafficking, and 2 art therapy programs, a cause Karen Pence is passionate about and has chosen as her platform. Sounds like it's going to be a great book, and the subject couldn't be cuter. No doubt kids will be entertained and learn a thing or two about American government. Love bunnies? Love our VP? Share it out. HDCNN